Welcome back to another fantastic property tour, Rankin family. Today, we have the good fortune of being at my favorite builder, Partners in Building, their newest model home right here in Cypress, Texas. Now, I can't wait for you to see inside this one because I've been waiting for this one to be completed for a few weeks now, and we finally get to bring it to you folks. Now, the one thing that you really can appreciate is really the contemporary look. First thing you're going to notice is to the side, we are going to have our 3-car garage. You have the beautiful stucco as well as the natural stone. But more importantly, whenever you walk into that covered front porch, absolutely exquisite. That's one thing you can certainly appreciate. Also from the exterior, you're noticing you're going to have the LED lighting, which really brings out the property. I wish I could have brought it to you at nighttime, but we didn't have the good fortune to do so. But more importantly, what I'm really appreciating is also just the landscaping itself. They've really done a great job just to kind of bring out the property and really make it stand out. And if you've been a long-term viewer of the channel, you know that's the case with a lot of these model homes. So the first thing you are noticing is you have the wood ceiling. You have these oversized giant windows bringing in more natural light, which a lot of folks absolutely love. Also, with our flooring, we have tile flooring, beautiful tranquil fountain as well, which I absolutely love. And let's get you inside so that way you can see the true beauty of this one. Now, like I mentioned, they just opened this model home, had it staged to the nines, and you really will appreciate that. Now, as soon as you walk in, the first thing you are going to notice is the grand foyer. You have the 2-story great room. You have the floating staircase right over here to the right, opens up completely to the kitchen, but we'll go ahead and start right here to the right. Now, also, the one thing that I know that a lot of folks can appreciate, a lot of the times we get clients that reach out, they really want more that open concept, but more importantly, more square footage. And in this particular model, that certainly is the case. Now, this is going to be our guest suite. First thing you're noticing is that you do have our walk-in closet. You have tall baseboards, which I love, plush carpeting, and then look at that. Very rarely do we see the picture windows inside of the guest suite and the window on top. Sometimes they're called the clear story windows. Really, it's just the windows on top closer to the ceilings. But look how much natural light that enters inside of this room in particular. Of course, right over here, you have a queen bed, 2 nightstands, a dresser, and still you have plenty of walk room. Also, the one thing I really love is that we have the raised ceilings in here with the recessed lights as well. So the good thing inside of this property is that every single bedroom will have their own particular ensuite. Let me go ahead and close that toilet lid right there. So that way, a little bit better for you. Now we have marble countertops inside of here, high-end cabinetry. If you notice, we have the beautiful hexagon shaped shower flooring, and then a full walk-in shower. Also, what you'll notice is the tall ceilings extends inside of here as well. So it's really, if it's something where you say, hey, listen, I want to go ahead and entertain all my family and really don't have to worry about it, you can certainly do so. So now what you will notice is that this is a shared bathroom between the guest suite and to the hallway itself. So folks can just kind of head over there. There is a powder bath in here, a powder room rather. So you get the good fortune of seeing that as well. So as soon as you walk into the great room, first thing you're noticing is the beautiful LED chandelier. Look how many recessed lights are inside of here, really illuminating the property. But more importantly, obviously you have the sliders as well as the oversized picture windows. So if you didn't want to during the day or turn on the lights rather, then you can certainly do so. Also, what you will notice is going up the staircase, you have the floating stairs like I mentioned, but more importantly, you do have the same material that you had on the exterior of the property, which is the beautiful natural stone accent wall. Beautiful extension as far as the floor to ceiling electric fireplace as well. And really this is just that open concept that a lot of folks can certainly appreciate. So as soon as you walk into the kitchen, first thing you are noticing is going to be the oversized island with the marble counters. You have the beautiful backsplash that really complements the countertops as well. And then look at the sleek cabinetry. Extremely sleek, a ton of storage. And you may not be wondering, hey, where is this refrigerator? Well, it's right here. Look at this, folks. Absolutely stunning. You know, Partners in Building, they are up there with their staging and also just their architectural designs as well. Inside, what you'll also notice is that you have oak flooring that continues throughout. Of course, going into that breakfast room, I love that beautiful ambient lighting that you have as well. Really makes the property stand out. But let's make sure that we see every single inch of the property. That way you don't miss a beat. So you can come in here and actually see the model itself. As soon as you walk right here, this is of course going to be your mud room coming from your garage. So you have the 3-car garage. You have a 1-car garage bay facing this way. And then immediately when you take a right, you'll see that 2-car garage bay right over here as well. So they're still putting some final touches on here, folks. But like I always mention, I want to get you folks in here as soon as possible. So that way you can really see what you get for, you know, this particular product and this particular builder. Love that. Okay, so continuing along, of course, is going to be our walk-in pantry. Plenty of storage shelving in here. Plenty. It's almost like a working pantry that you can utilize. If you wanted to add some additional appliances in here, just kind of keep them out the way, you can certainly do so. And you have storage on top of the shelving over there as well. And then, of course, going down the hallway, this is going to be your utility room. First thing you're going to notice is you have extensions as far as the countertops is concerned, but more cabinet space up here. And I'll open this up so that way you can see how much space you get. Look at that. So like we always mention, the fabric softeners, dryer sheets, laundry detergent, and then also counter space to go ahead and fold the clothes, separate the, you know, the colors and things like that. So that way you don't really have to worry about compromising any space. And then also right over here, you have plenty of space for the washer and dryer, tile flooring inside of here. Love that. Okay, so continuing along, the one thing I think you really are going to love is this section over here. So that way you can see the nice summer kitchen. Also, you have a little game room area, media room area, which I love as well. Now, this is a perfect place for the informal dining room. Most folks would use this as a breakfast room, how we talk about. Of course, you have the picture windows that extends inside of here. So really just the natural light is extremely pertinent inside of this home. So continuing along, first thing you're going to notice right whenever you walk into the game room is that you have this slope right here. So it creates that high ceilings illusion. And then also the sliders. The sliders continues in here, create that indoor-outdoor feel, especially if you're entertaining, having the family out here, hanging out. You can even see, I mean, we're getting ahead of ourselves, but you can see that fireplace out there as well too. But look at how much space that you have in here. Now, also, I love the fact that you have this nice little wet bar area over here, separating the media area from the game room itself. So continuing along, this is how much space you have in this media room. So 5,489 square feet approximately. So you really can see that in here. Of course, we talked about you have the grand foyer, you know, the lounge, the game room. Love that. Now, don't even get me started on the staging itself. They are up there top tier with their staging, and it's really showing in this beautiful property. Now over here, you can add, obviously we talk about that popcorn machine over there to the right. You can add that as well. Maybe if you want to add some whiskey, maybe, you know, Jack Daniels, Jim Beam, there you go. But then also look at this, 2 accented natural stone beams right here. Love that. Okay, so if you didn't want to access or open up the sliders, you have the quick access door right over here. And then you have more storage space on this section. And then, of course, right over here, now we're going to have our powder room. So inside of here, you have quartz countertops, you have that cabinetry, tile flooring. Well, rather, this is not the powder room. You have the full shower inside of here. But look at that. So almost, you can almost utilize it as a powder room, but gosh, if you want to have the folks in here and take a shower, you can do so as well. You have the black shower head, you have that window on top, bringing in more natural light. Loving it. And I just love that they added that quick access door right there. That way you can access the backyard really easily. not having to open up the sliders, and you are good to go. Okay, so that was that section over there. What I want to make sure to do before we see that second story is, of course, you're going to see the primary bedroom. Love the location. Floor plan is fantastic. As soon as you walk in, of course, you are going to notice this area right here where you have the double doors walking in. Now, this is very rare. I see they changed some things up inside of here. So, of course, we'll start on this section. This is going to be your actual room right here. That's a king size bed, 2 nightstands. You have an awning, also a chair over here to the left. Nice little armoire as well. 3 oversized windows, bringing in that natural light. And then also what you will notice inside of here is that you have that slope as well. So let me do a full pan so you can see the full scope of the room. Okay, so you have the 3 windows on top, bringing it into more natural light. But if you notice that little slope that you have with the recessed lights, and then look at this gorgeous open ensuite, his and hers sinks, beautiful hanging brass lighting fixtures. But look at the oversized mirror that you have, floating counters as well. You have the ambient lighting on the bottom. You have those 3 windows as well. But look at this oversized soaking freestanding tub right here. Now, I tell you what, if you haven't used that body wash, that's exactly the body wash we've been using for the last 9 months. That native body wash is something. So great choice. Okay, now walking in here, of course, this is our walk-in shower. You have dual waterfall shower heads, an oversized shower bench over here to the left. Love the shower flooring itself. Extremely spacious, which I'm pretty sure you can appreciate. Now, also what I'm sure you can appreciate is the vanity area. Marble countertops right there. Also looking at all the shelving that you have, extending upwards. More storage. You have a little storage closet right here for the towels and the linens. To the left, we're going to have our water closet, of course. And look at our primary closet. Wow. Look at all the ambient lighting in here, really showcasing your wardrobe. You're probably going to have to get some more clothes or change out that summer collection for a winter collection, but it's certainly okay. Look at this. All the built-in storage shelving that you can imagine. Let's see if we can open up some of this. Look at how deep these drawers are. Love that. Soft closing as well. But just look at the vanity area. Perfect location right there. I know some folks may want to add maybe like a pocket door or something like that, but you let me know if that's okay with it being, exposed like that. Really nice placement though, in my opinion. Fantastic. Wow. And then also, like I mentioned, that slope continues from end to end as well. The tall baseboards, you have a coffee bar right over here to the left as well. So as soon as you close those doors, you can imagine how tranquil and ambient that is. And a lot of folks really prefer not to go ahead and have have it enclosed, so that way you can take advantage of that. And then also, if you didn't want to add the TV in there, that's especially a great location to exclude the TV. Now, this is our second story overlooking our great room. As you can see, these oversized picture windows overlooking your backyard, your beautiful pool, the covered backyard patio as well. Going across this way, we'll start in this area right here to the right. So this is a perfect loft area. Of course, what you notice is that they added the built-in desks right here. From end to end, you have the oversized windows again, picture frame windows on the right side, floating shelves, but more importantly, look at the space that you get inside of here. Extremely spacious. Now, if you didn't want to use this as a loft area, you can certainly add possibly that poker table or the pool table, how we talk about all the time. You have that plush carpeting. So we'll continue over here to the right and start on this section and make our way around. Okay, secondary bedrooms right here. Recessed lights. Now, if you wanted to add the fans down the road, you could certainly do so. But that's a queen size bed, 2 nightstands. That's your dresser over here. You even have little section over there. You can add a nice small desk right there, and you wouldn't have to compromise anything at all. Love that. And then of course, right here we have a walk-in closet. So this is going to be very interesting because, as we start to make our way outside of Texas, looking at other great builders and other great homes, it's going to be interesting to compare them to some of these beautiful products. I mean, you let me know, have you seen others? Has any states compete, or have they been competing with Texas? I mean, I've heard everyone that's looked at the Atlanta homes and homes in North Carolina and Nashville. Texas is right up there with it. So I'll let you be the judge, and we'll see over the next coming months. Shower tub combo right over here. You have your quartz countertops, your extension as far as the cabinets are concerned. Now, I would have possibly added that the mirror frame right there, but how we say, to each his own. It's very sleek and wanted to keep that minimalist feel or vibe, which I can certainly appreciate. And then of course overlooking this section over here, but we'll continue down the hallway. We'll open up this door right here as well. It's locked. I'm assuming that is the attic though. Okay, next bedroom. So this will be our fourth bedroom. So similar in size. If you notice, the same thing with the windows, bringing in that natural light that we always talk about, and queen size bed, 2 nightstands. So love the fact that every single bedroom is extremely spacious for an entire bedroom set, which I love. And real quick, folks, if you are a returning viewer, I really appreciate the continued support. It really means a lot to us. And if this is your first time stopping by, my name is Marcus Rankin. I am a Texas realtor. We do get calls, texts, and emails every single week from folks just like you looking to make a move. So of course, if you're in that bucket now or in the future, consider emailing us or texting us, find out your situation and get you taken care of. And last thing, consider hitting that subscribe button. I'd love for you to become a part of the Rankin family. And that way you don't miss a video every single week. Okay, so ensuite again, shower tub combo right here. They keep it uniform, if you notice, with the tile flooring. We kept it very simple, very unique and elegant. Love what you get inside of here. And then it's always nice, whenever you go into some of these, the models, the ones that just opened up, because you really can see the stager or the interior designer bringing the home to life. You ever seen a vacant home? I'm pretty sure if you would have saw this one without the furniture, it would have still been fantastic, but this just brought it over the top. Look at that. Okay. So every single bedroom, very similar in size, which is great. You don't have to worry about the kiddos fighting over who gets the bigger room and all that stuff. And then of course the guest suite is the guest suite. That's its own beast in itself. So in here you have that shower tub combo, the quartz countertops, the sleek, beautiful cabinets, and then of course the recessed lights right over there. Now this one, you will have a pocket door separating this walk-in closet right here, and then carpet inside of the closets. So really, I'm hoping you letting me know, is this something that, would you give it a 10? Would you change anything? Would you make some modifications? Or would you really just, keep it as is? And if I didn't open this one, you have a storage closet, of course, right here. So overall, Partners in Building, I mean, they did a fantastic job. Of course, a lot of times we've seen the model that's been in Republic Grand Ranch. We've seen, the ones that are in Dallas. We've seen Windsong Ranch, a lot of those, and you got to really compare and contrast to one another. And of course, this is completely custom. So if it's something where you say, hey, listen, I want to customize to my own particular liking, that's the beauty of a Partners in Building. You get to sit down and talk about the designs that you get to, having your home and really design it from scratch. And we've also seen some that were seller design that are on the market that maybe they built a couple years ago or so, and you really get to see they brought it to life. So let me open this up and then show you the entire backyard. I'm kind of out of breath. Okay. So walking out, first thing you are noticing, built-in blaze grill. Extension as far as the countertops is concerned. Over here you have the waterfall countertops. If you can imagine sitting down, hanging out, all the families right here, all the friends, the ones that you do like, not the ones that, you know, barged in and you know, invited themselves on their own accord. Then you can imagine this peace and the tranquility we talk about all the time. So I love the extension. Also, you have the extension over here. So this is perfect for your morning coffee, relaxing by the pool on that Saturday morning, or, you know, who knows, you might have called in on a Tuesday. So if that's the case, then here you go. But large size pool, love that. You have your nice little bonfire area over there. And then of course, looking back here, you have a brick wall. So like I say, this is the model home. So not going to be for sale for a long time, but it's okay because you can build something similar to this. A lot of times the model is the best seller. So if you want to make some modifications, no problem whatsoever. And that was the beautiful Partners in Building. All right, Rankin family. So this is the full study. First thing that you are noticing is the oversized windows overlooking the front yard, and then more importantly, overlooking the entire interior of the home, especially the great room. A lot of the folks that we have the good fortune of working with, they've always usually worked from home and they want some space. So this is a perfect space if you wanted to add that L-shaped desk right there, overlooking the front yard as well as your fountain, or if you wanted to have it separated just like this, then you can certainly do so. All right, Rankin family, that was the beautiful Partners in Building right here in Bridgeland in Cypress, Texas. Let me know in the comments what you folks thought about it. Is this something you can see yourself in? Would you make some modifications? If so, let me know in the comments below. If you want more information about this home or any home we showcase, make sure you email us or text us and we'll get you taken care of. Consider hitting that subscribe button, and I'll see you folks on the next property tour. Welcome back to another fantastic property tour, Rankin family. Today, we are located in Richmond, Texas, near Houston, looking at another gorgeous model home. And this time we have one of my favorite builders out here, Partners in Building. Now, starting on the exterior, you see that we have the stacked stone along with the stucco, that grand look. Now, this is a model, so you see some additional parking for guests right over there. Don't worry, that would be converted down the road. Now, once we continue this way, you see the grand covered front porch right here. Now, the stacked stone continues this way, but most importantly, look at the height. So you have the massive windows bringing in a ton of natural light, as you can see, and then even a ton of space around here, as you can tell. Now, once we head inside, I want you to stay tuned because there are a lot of neat features that separates Partners in Building from a lot of other builders. And I think you may love this one just as much as I do. All right. So immediately whenever you walk in, look at that. The double height ceilings, you have the teardrop chandelier hanging down, and then look at that view. Now, I want to preface this by saying this is a model home to showcase what they can do. So it is dressed to the nines, and they've added a lot of upgrades in here that you may like. Now, I'll pan you upwards, and then we'll start right there in the study. Now, you have French doors leading you inside of here. But look how huge this is. So in here, you see you got your desk. That just gives you a baseline of how much space you have. You have tray ceilings, recessed lights, and you'll notice the recessed lights throughout the home. Now, this is the size of some bedrooms, I tell you, but wait till you see the actual bedrooms. You're probably going to be in awe. Okay, so as always, you know this is a model, right? So they have all the paperwork necessary in there. They operate out of here daily, so you can see that it is being utilized. Now, right when you walk in to the right, you have your formal dining area, recessed lights in here, accent wall, you see that, and then you see you have a wine closet right there as well. I love how it's glass enclosed. And in fact, we've seen something similar with another model home by this builder out there in Bonterra. That was in Franklin, Tennessee. So go ahead and check that out. Now, you see that you have the floating staircase right here, picture windows, and then of course the additional upper windows. And that's gonna show you exactly what that view would be every single day. Now, this one is an interesting floor plan, so we'll continue to take our time. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy. Now, right over here, you have your breakfast nook. You see your LED light fixture right above your dining room table. Now you have a quick access door leading you to your backyard patio you can take advantage of. And then of course the corner windows as well. But look at the kitchen, family. So you see the open concept, perfect for entertaining. Now you have the panel ready refrigerator. You are going to notice the high-end appliances. You have quartz countertops right here. Then you see that you have the Gen Air cooktop. You have that sleek porcelain vent hood and the shaker style cabinetry with the brass handles. Now in here you got the two-tone, as you can see, and just, oh my goodness, there was a model that had opened by Partners Building at this point, probably about 10, 11 months ago or so. And you folks were in awe of that one. And this one was being constructed. It was still, gosh, 4 or 5 months out before this one opened. So this was one of their newest model homes. And that's why we didn't get a chance to see this whenever we ventured out of Texas. Now, you see the two-tone countertops again. You have prep space over here. Your pantry straight ahead, but wait till you see an additional feature that I think you may like. Now we'll spend a little bit of time right here inside of the kitchen because I know this is where you're going to spend a ton of your time. So we'll open up some of these drawers. You got your trash drawer right here, your stainless steel dishwasher, that sleek sink inside of your island. But look at this incredible view. So while you're doing dishes, this is exactly what you would see. So if you have your guests, family in here, this is the perfect time to take advantage of conversations. Now I'll turn you around right over here as well. Hopefully you get a good close-up of the materials. If you don't, I usually try to shoot 4K so that way give you a better look at the materials. Now I'm just opening this up because you know we are nosy. Not much in there, but that's totally fine. Now look at these elegant sconces. I like the way it makes the materials pop. Let me know your feedback in the comments below. And then before we continue to the pantry, just show you how much storage you get. Beautiful. Now heading inside of our pantry, you have a pocket door separating the two. And in fact, they actually painted this right here. But look at this storage shelving that you have available. Now don't worry, this is not all you get. I'm gonna show you in just a second, but you have additional counter space to take advantage of. Have all the messy dishes back here. You don't have to worry about it. All your shelving that you can imagine. White oak floors continuing throughout the property. And then look at this. So now this is your mud room. As you can see, you already got your hooks built in, ready to go. They're using the garage as a sales office or conference room sometimes. So you will notice that, but at least it gives you an idea of how much space you would get in here. You got epoxy flooring ready to go. You have multiple access points, as you can see. And let's go ahead and continue down the hallway. So now heading into our laundry room, wall-to-wall cabinetry, quartz countertops, your sink over here, tile flooring, and let me know what you think about the color contrast. But you definitely have a ton of space for an oversized washer and dryer and all the storage that you can imagine. But this is what I want you to see. Love this. Look at the space that you get inside of here. So the perfect prep kitchen to work with. You have all the counter space that you can imagine, all the cabinetries, and then also you have an additional refrigerator, range, even a vent hood, your sconces, and then a dishwasher right here. So the perfect scullery to take advantage of. I told you I wasn't going to leave you hanging. I didn't want you to run to the comments without me, giving you a quick note before you do. Now, you do have your single car garage bay right here. You see they're using it as storage as well, but you can go ahead and fit, your supercar in there without any challenges and head right inside. This will be the additional quick access point to your garage as well. So that just gives you a better idea what that would lead to. But we still have a lot to see. Okay, so now heading inside of the living area. Look at this. So you see, you got the picture windows again, bringing in all that light that you can imagine. And then the sleek fireplace, your recessed area is perfect for the decor, how they add it. And then if that's not enough, you got your sliders right there. Beautiful. So I love how the floor plan flows seamlessly. Now, let me know if you agree. I love that. And then the living wings, the bedrooms are on the sides of the property. You'll notice that. And we still haven't even got to the second level. So when I first walked this home, this one almost looked like a primary suite for a second in some of the homes that we've had the good fortune of touring. But in here, you see you got your tray ceilings, recessed lights. That's a king bed, your 2 nightstands, massive egress windows right over here as well. And let me just show you this. But this would be the perfect guest suite. In fact, I don't think your guests would leave or your in-laws because of the room they get. Now you got the separate closet right over here. Look how roomy this walk-in closet is. You already got your built-in dresser. You got the rods ready to go. And then now heading to your ensuite. Okay, look at that. So you have the vaulted ceiling design. You see your gorgeous candle effect chandelier, glass enclosed shower right there. You even have a shower bench in there. So that's why I really thought this was the primary suite. Look at this, quartz countertops again, even on the side. So you have a his and hers sinks. They really went all out on this property. Now you have a dual entry. You see the gold fixtures in here. Got an oversized shower bench to take advantage of. And you can see exactly why I say your guests will not want to leave. And then your water closet. Beautiful. I'm telling you, Partners in Building, they do such a great job for their models. Other models, when we tour them, sometimes you can see based off of the materials they utilize and things like that, cost saving comes into effect. But in here, I tell you, they have the resources available to show you what they can do. All right, so now heading inside of our game room. Look at that. Tray ceilings again, huge picture windows overlooking the backyard. You see you got little pocket areas to entertain as well. So I love that. So you got the pool table, sitting area, sliders again, and just a ton of room to work with. So let me know what you would do with this particular room, and do you like the way they have it set up. Now, if you are entertaining, or let's say in this instance, your guests come out in the pool, head right over here to the full bath to take advantage of that. So you got the quartz, then the matte black as well, and then the herringbone pattern shower flooring right there. Beautiful. And there we go. So, man, I'm telling you, we still have a lot to see on here. Now I'll give you one more pan before we continue throughout the rest of the home. Beautiful. So not only that, you see that you have your glass enclosed wine closet right over here. So perfect as a statement. Whenever your guests walk in, they will not be able to miss this. So I love that they included this. All right, so now heading to this side of the home, family. And like I said, we still have to get to the second level. So hopefully you are enjoying the tour. Now you got your powder bath right over here. So if your guests come straight in here, don't even need to make it a few more steps and they can use the restroom, because we all have the guests that always need to use the restroom. So perfect placement right there. I'll quickly pan you around and look at this one. So I love how it feels like a sanctuary, right? So you close this door off, you still have a hallway leading you, but then you see you got your picture windows. You can obviously add the blinds and you don't have to worry about privacy. And then look at this, family. So again, you're seeing the common theme with the tray ceiling. So creates more of that roomier atmosphere. And then you have the recessed lights, the LED ceiling fan, your king size bed, your massive nightstands on both sides. And then the amount of walk room that you still have available is incredible. I just get so excited about touring these homes. Sometimes I have to tone it down a notch, especially when I watch it back. I'm like, all right, calm down a little bit. You're acting like you just closed on the house. All right, so now heading to our ensuite. Water closet right over there. Look at this soaker tub. A ton of space. So you see you have the dual entry walk-in shower again, your chrome chandelier hanging down, and then look at this. Beautiful vanity, quartz countertop, some more of that neutral color. You see it's complementing the chrome extremely well. And then look at the glass panes in your cabinet fronts right over here. You got your towel closet over here. Now let's get a better close-up on the materials. So it looks like the shower valve is outside of here. That's unique, and I don't think I've seen that before. But you do have your shower bench ready to go. Look up there. You got your rain shower head, and then of course, like I mentioned, the dual entry. And then wait till you see the additional bedroom upstairs. It is insane. All right. So now heading inside of the closet. Look at this. I'll do a quick pan. Look at the space that you get. So we'll start right over here to the right. You know, I'm a huge fan of the floor to ceiling shelving. Again, the recessed lights. This almost looks like you're walking into a mall or a showcase, right? Your entire wardrobe. So I love that. But not only that, but look at the space that you have between the shelving. So a ton of walk room available. Get your chrome rods in here, carpet. Lovely. And then if that's not enough, you head over here and then look at the space that you still have over here. So they continue with the floor to ceiling shelving, and then your built-in drawer. You got the flat panel cabinet fronts on there. And then the double pocket doors. I'm loving it. And like I said, if you haven't gotten a chance to, take a look at some of their other models, and you really see the consistency between all of their properties, whether they build it from scratch or they showcase the model or build even a spec home. So I love to see it. And then of course, one more look. This will bring you right back out here. Okay. So it looks like we covered the entire first level. Hopefully we didn't miss anything. There was a lot of pockets in there and nuances. So I tried my absolute best. Now heading up here, I want to start right behind me over here to the right, because I think you're going to love that room straight ahead. Now, before we do continue, you see that you have a loft area to take advantage of. So even more space to entertain, or the kiddos just to hang out and watch their favorite film. But heading over here, you see your catwalk. As always, we like to overlook the foyer from the second level. And then I'll pan you around over here. Beautiful. Now you take 2 steps right up here. You have an additional storage closet, but look at this, family. A second primary bedroom, tray ceilings. Look at the room. I even like the recess area, this bump out over here, because you could use that as a designated sitting area without any challenges. But with the king size bed, the 2 nightstands, look at the walk room that you had. available. So let's say I'm painting a scenario. If you had one of your guests living in the first bedroom downstairs, you're living in the primary suite, and your in-laws are up here, you're gonna have a full house. I'm just warning you now. But you see the continued white oak floors, and then look at the ensuite. Wow. I think some of my viewers may like this one better than the downstairs one. So I welcome your feedback. Okay, so up here, you see the quartzite material, then the same custom cabinet doors, tray ceilings right above there, and this nice illusion right over here, like this floating mirror design with a pendant light. So I like the way it hangs down right there, really unique. And then right behind the wall, you see you got your freestanding tub. So that's neat. It's like a little high bar scenario right there. You got your storage closet right over here to the left. And look at this. So again, the shower benches, I said this a couple times ago, or I think 2 tours ago, that some of the properties we were going into were eliminating or excluding the shower benches. But in here, you see we had them in all of the, or at least all 3 of the rooms. So I love that. But then they decided to go with the matte black in there, so it complements that. Now, water closet over there to the left, as you can see, tile flooring with some accent detail inside of there. And look at that. You have so much room. You even have a designated sitting area. So while you're getting ready, your best friend is here telling you the latest news. But look at the closet again. So that's not even all. I'll pan you to the left and look at this. Oh my goodness. You will never have to leave this home whatsoever. If the kids grow up and move out, you're probably just going to have to invite some family over here. But again, a ton of storage. And at the end of the day, you don't even need to continue the storage shelving all the way to the ceiling in this one, because you already have an abundance of space for this being the second primary suite. And then you see the French doors. You have carpet in here, just a ton of room. And then the floating vanity is the chef's kiss. Okay, so now we still have some additional bedrooms right there, and we'll see them, and then we'll make our way to the backyard. Now, if that's not enough, right over here to my right, look at that. You have a sconce ready to go right there with a desk. So just giving you an idea of what you can use this space for. Got your storage closet again right over here. And then the next bedroom. Look at this. So extremely spacious, as you can see. You have the 2 beds, perfect for the kiddos. You got your light fixture right there, so they can read a book. And if that's not enough, you got a window bench with some built-in storage. And you have carpet in here, and then the separate walk-in closet. Even this one has an oversized closet to work with. Now over here, you see you got your ensuite. So you're gonna have the separate vanity right here with the sink. And then as you pan over here, you're gonna have the shower tub combo. You got the tile flooring inside. And then the same thing with that one. So you'll have that Jack and Jill. And then our final bedroom. So in here, you got the queen, your 2 nightstands, and then you see you still have a ton of room to work with. And there you go. You got your walk-in closet, and straight ahead is going to be, an attic. And I'll just show you that and see if it's open. No, it's not open, but that'll be your attic space. So additional storage if you wanted to utilize that. Okay, so that was the entire first level and second level, and there was an abundance of space to take advantage of. So extremely incredible. Last but certainly not least, we'll take a look at the backyard and go from there. And then, so that's George right there. How you doing, George? I appreciate you for allowing us to take this tour. And then, as I head back out here, so you see, you got your sliders right over here, but then all the access points to take advantage of. I love that they extended the covered backyard patio straight ahead over here. You see the stucco again, and then your built-in pool. And I'm telling you, right now, I just stepped outside and I started sweating a little bit. So this is the perfect time to jump in that pool right there. And then if that's not enough, of course, then you can obviously head straight back over here and entertain your guests. Sit by the fire, which you won't need that for a while. Take my word for it. And then there you go. But other than that, family, that was another beautiful Partners in Building model home. All right, Rankin family, that was it for this beautiful model home right here in Richmond, Texas. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this particular property. Is this something you can see yourself living in? Would you make any changes? If so, let me know in the comments below. Of course, if you want more information about this home or any home we showcase, reach out to the information in the description. Consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss a tour every single week. And I'll see you folks on the next property tour.